Hello everyone. Today I'll be reviewing the Remus based on the Nissan Silvia S13 produced between 1988 to 1993. It features decent customization, but I feel like there's a lot to be left desired since some customization options I feel are missing or were not well thought out. This does feature your usual carbon secondary and primary options. However, some options are missing out. If we're talking about bumpers and extra secondary colors, I'll touch more on that once I get there. But besides that, you really do have a good amount of customization that's still overwhelming, besides, some bits that are missing. But regardless, I mean, if you're going for a drift tune, which this does offer, you really have a fine selection of bumpers to choose from. I mean, you can delete it. You can, add more little bits, whatever you want, almost, or basically. I tend to be a little bit boring with my builds and conservative, I guess. But I like to be more realistic with it. So I'm gonna try my best not to be boring here, not to bore you guys out, right? But besides that, you still have a fine selection to choose from with the engine model here. You can change air filters, the engine block itself. You can play around with little bits in here as well, which is very nice to see, very welcoming. You even have special patterns. I like to see that type of stuff, but personally, as I said, I just like to keep it clean. You can remove the cover here for the cam build, uh, but what I want to do is I want to expose that. I feel like it's supposed to be seen. Maybe the real life car has it covered, but in most cars that I've seen, it's usually exposed, if I remember correctly. The strut braces here, these have been seen a million times. They're not unique to this car. There's other bits of the car that are also not unique, but I'll get there uh, in a bit. Um, you could kind of see the intercooler there through the mesh, but again, it's stuff that has been seen before. It's not unique to this car. The exhaust, I'll probably go back to this one. It would have been cool if there was no cutout on the exhaust for the. I mean, no cutout on the bumpers for the exhausts. On the left exhaust, and just have one exhaust only, if that makes sense. Uh, but if you want to cover that cutout right there, you're forced to have two exhausts. I might go back and add a dual, but I'll just quickly show you, through the rest of the options. You can choose to, change the fenders in the front. It also plays to the back. So in the fender options, uh, it doesn't have its separate tab. You have to choose the front and back on the same tab, as you can see. But I'm not gonna put a white body, so I'm just gonna leave that off. For the grill, I mean, these options are still pretty solid. It's I'm just gonna leave it stock, if I'm honest with you. The emissive grill looks interesting. I don't know if I should change it. Maybe I'll just keep the stock one for now. You have your usual headlight covers. These are not unique to the car as well. The hood options, these are pretty nice. You can remove the hood entirely. You can add sticker bombs. You can add carbon, different vented options. This section right here was done very well. I do not have any complaints with these hoods. Uh, I can really get behind all these different types of styles. Minus the transparent hoods, I'm sure most of us can agree that it's pretty weird, but it adds character to the car, which at the end of the day is, what you probably want to do with it anyway. With interior, you can strip it out. You can add a fuel cell. You can add NOS, a fire extinguisher. You can remove some of the carpeting as well. That's pretty nice to see. I really love when the developers of the game go the extra mile uh, to strip out some parts. Let you choose what you can and not what you want to choose, without being forced to. But unfortunately, that isn't the case for every option on the car. But regardless, I mean, you still have a fine amount of stuff to choose here. If you want to add some digital gauges, you can do that. Or if you just want some extra gauges as well. But you know what? I might as well just choose wrong. Just choose one of these. I like how it looks on here. These door cards here are not unique. The strip option has been seen before on other tuner vehicles. Same goes for the sports seats, but they're based on their own brand, so it really doesn't matter, right? I mean, if you like it, you like it. It doesn't have to be entirely unique. The steering wheels, I feel like the stock one doesn't look so good on it, so I should change it. I'm not sure how I feel about any of these, to be honest with you. They look a bit too modern, a bit too new for aftermarket, should I say. The Apex looks good, and so does the Sprinter, or the Sprint. I might go for the Sprint Basic for now. The roll cage, of course, you have your roll cage options here. Um, so if you like to do that, you can go ahead and do that as well. But I'm just going to leave it off. Liveries, these liveries are pretty nice. I'm sure plenty of you are a fan of these and enjoy the references. The first two really don't show much. I don't know what the Annis brand is. It doesn't change anything. If you look, maybe you guys can see it. I can't. The Premier and the Annis brand doesn't really change much. But the shopping list is pretty funny to see. I like that. And you have some others here in different variations of the same liveries. These are very well done, very high quality as well. Princess Bubblegum is pretty funny. I'm sure many of you know about this or have seen this a million times by now. Then you have your usual race inspired liveries, another anime livery as well. I don't have all of these unlocked because I guess I don't, you know. For the respray, I'm going to do something very brave here. Um, I'll get there when I get there. Give me a second. But as you can see, it looks very good with any color that you choose. If you want to go for a classic or a metallic, I love how the gasoline green looks on here. It feels like it's supposed to be on here. For the secondary, I'm gonna put like maybe a black or a darker gray to add some contrast. It's really hard to tell which one looks better on the car because of the lighting. I should also mention that the primary translates over to the secondary, uh, which is a bit annoying. To be honest with you guys, some of you probably don't mind, but I would have liked it to be separate. But anyway, it's kind of hard to tell with the lighting in here since it's a darker color. I feel like maybe dark steel is a good fit for now. So I'll just choose that. You also have your usual roof accessories too. I really like the antenna. I'm gonna add that. You have your usual roof scoops. I'm not really a fan of these as well. And then other accessories. You have your skirt options here. So if you're going for a body kit, then these are pretty good for you. I mean, it's gonna fit your build pretty well. But I like to keep my things nice and simple, so I'm just gonna leave the stock one for now. You got your usual sun strips here. The spoiler, this one was a bit disappointing. You didn't have your primary lip spoiler option. So if you want the stock lip spoiler and a traction bonus, you have to change it to uh, one of the other options. Uh, so there's like no primary lip spoiler, which is what I'm trying to say. But the rest of these are still pretty solid. Of course, if we're going for something aftermarket and modern, then these will fit your build. But I might as well just remove it since the stock one does not add any traction for some reason. And the ducktail spoiler doesn't have a primary, it has a secondary, which is a bit annoying. So I'll just remove that. This has camber when you lower it down. You guys probably know how I feel about that by now. So I'm just going to leave it off. The trunk, of course, you have your sticker bomb, your carbon, to each their own. The wheels, man, I mean, there's really a lot to choose from here. Depending on if you go on the street category or the track category, uh, these BBS style wheels look pretty nice on it, but I want to go for something else. I really love how the Speed Boys look on this. It just completes the whole build, in my opinion. The split stars look pretty good as well, but I feel like that depends on the color and uh, what exactly you did with the car. The rest of these are pretty good as well. I mean, if I went for a red, I would have chosen something else, right? The Giga Michels look perfect on this as well. Uh, I don't know if you guys agree. You probably will, you probably won't. It's all up to preference, right? Of course, your usual tire lettering here. I'm gonna show you the window tints on this. I'm gonna give it a light tint. And then when I'm done here, I'm gonna give you a closer look of the interior, the engine model. And then I'm gonna discuss the performance. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. Just give me a sec to get out of here and I'll get into it. Detail and texture quality is great. Um, there are some bits that are a bit lower quality, but I could really look over that. I'm sure many of you probably won't care about that either. The exterior of the car is well made. The interior, however, it has been reused in a few other vehicles, but I'm sure many of you could overlook that. It's not really a big deal. Same applies to the trunk. It's not the highest texture quality, but it really doesn't matter. It doesn't really ruin the car for me at all. Speed and handling is great. I'm sure many of you will agree with me if you decide to purchase this car and drive it. It's very smooth on the road. The handling is uh, good as well. I just like it. However, it doesn't really feel much of a competitive vehicle. Uh, it doesn't really give you that jump, uh, not jump. It doesn't feel like it's pulling you along with it. If that makes any sense, right? But I still really like the way this car performs. I like the way it feels. If you're very if you're very experienced with races, you really should not struggle with this car at all. Especially in the drift mode, it should be an ease to control this vehicle. So if you're an experienced player, I mean, you're just gonna have a fun time. If you're new to the game and still getting used to vehicles, then you might be a bit iffy. You might want something a lot faster. But regardless, this is still a good car on discount. Thanks for watching.